First Ground Yoga. I'm Elena, and today we're going to move through a feel-good flow. So we're going to start on our backs. Before you start down that way, grab a block or a book. It could even be a couch pillow, just to lift the earth up to us a little bit in some of our poses. We'll again start on our backs, so I'll meet you there. Getting situated with the feet hips distance apart, drawing our shoulders down and away from our ears, and our hands can come palms face up by our sides. And now we're here, so we'll just bring some awareness to everything that's touching the ground. Bring some awareness to the breath cycle you have today. And always the option to close the eyes or soften the gaze. And since this is a yoga check-in, we'll ask ourselves the question, how are we feeling today? We'll let that settle in. And then let's just take a deep breath to accept where we are today. Deep breath through the nose, filling up the belly. And a nice slow exhale. We'll let that go. And when you're ready, you can open the eyes and begin to reach the hands overhead. Maybe pointing through the toes, rocking through the ankles. Maybe back and forth. Maybe the wrist can move up and down. And then we'll start to shimmy our shoulders over towards the left. So you can press into the back of the head and pick up the shoulders, or press into the hands. And then our right foot's going to cross over our left ankle. And then your choice here, palms can be placed together overhead as you lean towards the left. Or you might grab the right wrist with the left hand. We'll continue to breathe into the side body, opening up through the hip, the rib cage, the shoulder. Alright, and we'll switch to the other side, uncrossing the legs, now shimmying our shoulders to the right side. And left ankle is going to cross over the right. And then picking a variation with your hands. Maybe grabbing that left wrist with the right hand, or making prayer palms up and overhead. Deep breath. Alright, and we'll bring it back to center. Uncross the legs, and then send the right knee up into the chest. We'll grab the right shin or the right knee with both hands, giving it a good squeeze as we push away with our left foot. Right toes flex back towards our shin. And then we'll bring our left hand to the top of the left hip crease, and then just begin making small circles with that right knee, using the right hand to guide it. Seeing if you can keep both backs of the pelvis or the hip points down on the ground as you make this slow, soft movement, opening up through the hip. Alright, and once you've done that, we'll reach towards the ankle or grab the sole of the foot. We're starting kind of slow here, so you can even grab just the top of the shin for half of a happy baby. And just notice what the hips are saying today. This right one here to start might be a little tight, and that's all good. You might find some movement here. All right, and we'll bring that knee back into the chest and then draw it over across the body for a reclined twist. Reaching our right arm out beside of us. Left hand can come to the top of the right knee, and we'll look past our right shoulder. Bring your awareness back to the breath. Seeing if you can fill up the belly as much as you can here. And nice and slow, we unwind, bringing that right knee back into the chest for one last squeeze. Let's lift the nose up towards the knees, or up towards the knee. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then exhale, release the right foot back down, bringing our left knee back up and into our chest. Right hand comes to the top of the right hip crease, and we begin to make some small circles with that left knee, using our left hand. Flexing those left toes back towards the shin. Aiming to keep both of the back hip points down on the ground. All right, we'll send the left sole of the foot towards the sky, maybe reaching towards that left ankle, drawing that left knee down towards the left armpit, opening up. And just notice if the skin of the face seems tight, or you're starting to clench in the jaw or the chin, the neck. And just bring some softness and ease there by using your breath. Maybe finding some movement with this left leg. Big inhale in, big exhale out, and we'll bring the left knee back into the chest, and then guide it with that right hand all the way across the body as the left hand opens up towards the left, and we look past our left shoulder. Recline twist. Breathing deep. And again, if you're feeling really tight in the hips and the lower body, bring some softness to the face and the shoulders. Try to find some ease here with the breath. Nice and slow, we unwind, come back to center, squeeze that left knee up and in, and then we'll reach our nose up towards our left knee, pressing away with that right foot, and then we'll let that go. Head drops down, leg rolls out. Let's bring both knees into the chest, make a couple circles just to even it all out. Maybe rocking the knees back and forth. And then option to come straight up to a seat, or you can rock up and down the spine. And we'll come to a seated position. We'll place our left hand on the ground, reach our right hand up and overhead, quick side body stretch. Reaching the right fingertips up and away from the crown of the head. And then exhale, we'll cartwheel all the way through. Right hand comes down, left hand overhead. Reaching towards the right side of the room. And then we'll cartwheel back to center. We'll send it forward onto all fours. Stacking our bones, hips over our knees, shoulders over the wrists. Be particular about your hand placement, so really spreading the fingertips, claw into the fingertips as well. We'll curl the toes under and send the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Let's pedal it out through the feet. Give the head a little shake, yes and no. Warming up the body, deep breaths. We'll find stillness for a couple breath cycles, toes turning in, the inner thighs spiraling back, pressing away from our yoga mat with our hands. Draw the navel in towards the spine, and then nice and slow, we'll make our way to the top. Forward fold, feet hips distance apart. And then up to you if you want to grasp opposite elbows or just let the hands dangle. You might interlace the hands behind the shins. Just pick a forward fold that feels good, that feels right for you today. And then nice and slow, we'll roll up to the top. Coming into a mountain pose, hands by our sides. Shoulders drop down and away. And then on an inhale, we'll reach the hands all the way up overhead, sweeping the arms by our sides. Prayer palms overhead. And then tilt over towards the left, pressing into the right foot. Finding this half moon shape in standing. Big breath in. Big breath out, brings us back to center, leaning over towards the right now, pressing into the left foot. And then exhale back to center, reach the hands up, look up. Exhale, forward fold, sweep the arms down by your sides. Inhale to halfway lift, hands comes to the shins or the thighs. We reach the crown away, shoulders back. And exhale to bow. Plant the palms, we'll step the right foot back, dropping down to the right knee for a low lunge. Heart opens forward, shoulders draw down once again. Lots of space in the upper body here. Relax the face. Take a deep breath. And then we'll plant the palms, we'll curl the back toes under, reach the knee up, and then step the left toes back to meet the right. Coming into plank, we'll lower to the knees, chest, and then chin. Scooping the heart forward, coming onto the tops of the feet for baby cobra. Nose points in the same direction as our chest, so we're not crunching in the back of the neck, but we're looking forward here, pressing into our foundation. And then exhale, release. Forehead comes down. Curl both toes under. Inhale. Exhale to power up, either to half plank or plank. Downward facing dog. Shake it out through the hips. Breathe in through the nose. Big exhale through the mouth. And then we'll step forward with the left foot, dropping onto the right knee now for low lunge on the left side. Heart shines forward. We're light on our fingertips. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And we'll plant the palms, lift the back leg, and we're going to step the right foot up to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees as generous as needed here. And then inhale, sweep the arms all the way up by our sides. Hands come together overhead. Palms slide down to the front of the heart center. And we take a deep breath. Gathering it all in. All right, bend through the knees, send the hands down to come up. Inhale, big stretch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Reach the crown away. Exhale to bow. Same thing on this side. Plant the palms. Come down onto the right knee. Low lunge on the right side. Open the heart. Take a deep breath. Plant the palms, step the left toes back for plank. Just a beat, drop to the knees, the chest and chin. Scoop the heart forward, plant the tops of the feet down, pelvis plants down, cobra. Exhale to bow, forehead to the mat. Take a big inhale here, fill up the belly. And exhale to power up to plank or half plank. Downward facing dog. Take a moment here for yourself. Pedaling through the feet or finding stillness. And then we'll step the left foot up towards the left hand, dropping onto the right knee. Open the heart forward. Deep breaths. Deep stretch. And then plant the palms, lift that back leg, bend through the right knee, and step that right foot up to meet the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Sweep the arms down to come all the way up. Prayer position overhead. Slide the hands in front of the chest. And we'll stand here in mountain. Notice any sensations in the body, the heat, maybe the heartbeat, pace of your breath, or the feet planting down. All right, we're going to step to the middle of our mat now, bringing our feet a little bit wider than hips distance apart. Big toes can come in just slightly. And we're going to reach our hands out by our sides, kind of like a big X shape, star pose. And you might look up slightly towards the ceiling or the sky. Take a deep breath here, big power pose. It's a good one to come to if you're ever feeling like you need an extra motivational push or some confidence. You might smile here. And then we're going to turn the right toes out, coming into warrior two, bending through the right knee, maybe walking that left foot back. Reaching our hands out by our sides, looking past our right hand. Finding your focal point, hugging the center in towards the spine. And then we'll straighten through the front leg. Left hand comes down to the left thigh, and we'll reach the right hand up and back for peaceful warrior, looking up. Coming back into just warrior two, arms staying straight through that front knee. We'll begin to lean forward like you're reaching for someone's hand, and then we'll tip into triangle. Right hand's going to hover here. Left hand's going to reach up towards the sky, an option to either look down, forward, or maybe up towards the sky. Stay strong through both feet. Careful not to lock out in the knees, micro bend. One more breath, you got it. And then exhale, someone pulls you up from that left arm. We come back to warrior two. All right, we'll straighten back through that front knee, turn the right toes in. And this time, we're gonna grab that block or the book that you have. We're gonna go into a forward wide-legged fold, a wide-legged forward fold. Our hands are gonna come to our hips. Our block is close by. We're gonna begin to hinge from our center, bringing the crown of the head forward, hips back. Again, micro bend in the knees. And we'll come all the way forward. Block might come down flat in front, and we can plant our hands there. We'll be here for a couple breaths just with this normal forward fold. Anchoring down through all four corners of both feet. All right, so right hand's gonna come down onto our block, or you could use your book here, and then we're gonna spin the chest over towards the left. Left hand can come out to our side any amount. So the goal here may be just to reach up towards the sky, any amount, keeping a nice long neck, tucking our chin to keep that length. We'll be here for one more breath. And then exhale, left hand replaces the right. We open up towards the right side, any amount, reaching that right arm back. And then exhale, we'll replace both hands on the block, Returning to that wide-legged forward fold. And when you're ready, move your block or your book out of the way. And we'll bring our hands to our hips, press through the soles of the feet to power up. Crown of the head reaches forward, up and back until we're in a standing position. Returning to our star pose, reaching our hands out by our sides, looking up, spinning our left toes out, walking our right foot in slightly for warrior two on the left side. Looking past our left fingertips, finding the power in both legs, and finding a softness in the shoulders and the face. Breathing deep. All right, from here we'll press through the front foot, straighten through the front leg, right hand comes to right thigh, left hand up and over for peaceful warrior, looking up and back. And then we'll reach our hands back out to warrior two position, start to tilt forward, reaching for someone's hand as we come into triangle. Right hand lifts up, left hand hovers by our knee. Micro bend in both knees here. An option to look up towards the sky, down towards the foot, or straight ahead. Hug the center in to protect the hip and the knees. We'll be here for one more breath. Someone grabs you by the right hand, we come back to warrior two. All right, we straighten through that front leg once again, turn the left toes in, and let's just heel toe or walk towards the center of our mat. I'll meet you at the top, and we'll reach our hands up again, slight back bend here, and then exhale, forward fold. We'll hang out here for just a couple breaths, releasing any tension in the hips, the upper body. Just let something go. And on your next inhale, we'll wash that out with a halfway lift. Exhale to bow. We'll plant the palms, and let's just step down into the right knee, to the left knee, finding our tabletop position. Spreading our hands, fingertips wide, pressing into the tops of the feet, and we'll hug our lower ribs in. Go ahead and curl the toes under. We're going to lift the knees for hovering table. We'll be here for 5. Stare straight down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop onto the knees. We'll send the right knee up in between both hands, walking that left knee back for a pigeon, king pigeon. You can bring your block or your book back into play here if you want to bring the earth up to you. So options here, if you don't have a block or a book, you can bring hands to prayer and bring your forehead to your thumbs. Also option to bring block or book or pillow underneath that right hip to lift it up. Being very mindful here of the knees. All right, we'll let that go. Go ahead and plant the hands. Curl the back toes under, lift that left leg as we come back into that hovering table. So knees can be bent or you can come into plank. We'll be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left knee comes up and in between our hands. We walk that right knee back. Option to snuggle something under that left hip crease. And then we can walk down onto the elbows. You can stay up on the fingertips. Hands can come in prayer, thumbs to third eye. Really anchor down through the top of that right foot. Use that as your foundation. And keep lots of awareness in both feet. Notice what's going on in the face. If you're clenching again, see if you can bring some softness using the breath. Alright, we'll slowly come out of this, pressing into the hands. We'll sit over onto that left hip and swing our right leg around, being mindful here. And then we'll just come into a cross-legged seat, middle of our mat. Taking any last movements here before sitting up tall and finding stillness. Bringing ourselves back to the question, how am I feeling today? How am I feeling now versus the beginning of this practice? And we'll take a breath in just to accept that. Accept where we are. We'll bring our hands to heart center, bowing chin to chest. We'll end with a little bit of gratitude for our bodies that allowed us to come to practice today, for each other, and for the big picture. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Invitation to whisper, Namaste.